Saquon, when you look back at kind of your first couple games so far, what would you say about your efforts? I mean, are you pleased individually with what your numbers are, what the team's doing right now on offense?
I mean, obviously we put up 30 points in 2 games. First game, got some help from the defense. We really don't care about stats and individual numbers or the numbers we put up. Something that Coach Moorhead appreciates is just score one more touchdown than the other team. So, I mean, yeah, we put up 30 points, but we didn't get the win last week. So we really don't care about numbers. We just want to overall win the game as a team and what we could do on the offensive side of the ball to win the game.
You seem like a guy who's tough on yourself. Would you agree with that? And I guess if you do, have you looked at the fumble that you had last week on tape a lot?
Yeah, I am tough on myself. Just how I am. I hold myself to a standard. This team holds himself to a standard. And that fumble, I watched it about, a lot of times, if I can say. I watched it a lot of times. But it's like I said, just like the loss, put in pass, learn from it, get better from it, but put in pass and just start focusing on this week and focusing on Temple.
Saquon, why did you keep watching it over and over again? What do you kind of learn or get out of, kind of, I don't know if you want to say torturing yourself like that. I mean, what do you get out of doing that?
I wouldn't say it's torturing yourself. It just shows you that you're not perfect. It just reminds you the little things you got to work on. On the fumble, I was good with the ball, but once I started falling down, my elbow, I got a little turn on my elbow. And that's something Coach Huff preaches to us every single day, and that's something to work on every single day. And it just makes you just want to harp on the little things, focus on the little things. So, I mean, you obviously don't want bad plays like that to happen, but if it does, you just got to learn from it and go from it.
You think you watched that more than 10 times or less than 10 times?
More than 10 times.
You have a lot of experience yourself with explosive running plays, and this year the defensive line is thus far struggling a little bit with that. Do they ask you, from a running back's perspective, what kinds of things you see out there so that they can maybe start to work on their own gap accountability a little bit better?
No. The defensive line, not really in practice. In camp, I would say more in camp.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in games. In camp, you kind of just going against each other the whole time.
Yeah.
So you just get feedback on each other, and it's kind of like just little bits and pieces of what you need to work on, or what I see they need to work on, what the defense think I need to work on. It just really helps the team. It helps you overall as a player get better. But not like in games, because you kind of like after, like when they come out, I'm on the field, and they're talking to Coach Pry and all of them. So you really don't really get to talk about it in the game.
Right, but after watching film and whatnot, in practice the following week, any?
No, I don't think any defensive lineman asked me about that. I don't really know how to help in that area.
Thank you.
John, this morning Andrew Nelson graded the offensive line and he gave them a B for the first 2 weeks of games. If you had to grade the offensive line, what would you give them? What do you think they've done well?
I'm always gonna say A, to be honest. Without them, we go. As Coach Moorhead just said, we go as the offensive line goes, and we've been doing pretty decent at the offense. Obviously, our expectations are higher, and we want to win. We want to be 2-0 right now, but offensively, we feel like we've been doing pretty good, and we left a lot on the table, and you really can't do anything about your offensive line. So, I mean, personally, I think the offensive line is doing great, and the way they handle it and the pressure and everything, I think they're doing an awesome job.
James had mentioned that Pitt did a good job attacking the mesh point on the read option. How do you guys work to combat that?
It's just kind of like a feel thing. You get it in practice, but it's different speeds in the game. But it's kind of just a feel thing with me and Trace, and we just got to feel it out and just improving that every week.
How much chemistry or maybe even trust does it take between you and Trace, knowing that he could pull it out, or you're clamping down? What is that dynamic like, learning that and getting a feel for that in this offense?
I think it's just the mindset that we both have, that if he pulls it or give it to me, that we both are capable of making something with our feet or making a play. So I just trust it's more on him, to be honest, and he's reading defense, and I trust him every single time. So if he pulls it, I'm pretty sure 10 times out of 10 is the reason why he pulled it. If he gives it 10 times out of 10 is the reason why he gave it to me.
Last year against...
Since you guys play at noon this week, you could watch Stanford on Saturday if you wanted to. What do you think about Christian McCaffrey, and what is it like to watch a running back and really just an athlete like that?
I really don't get a chance to watch college football that much when you're in season. Like, you get to watch like the highlights and stuff like that. But like I said before, McCaffrey is a great running back, a great player, and the guy you look up to and you watch film, and you kind of want to steal pieces and parts of his game because he's so talented. And but right now, I wouldn't say like after the game, like if it's on, like I probably will watch it, but not focusing on what McCaffrey and what Stanford's doing. I'm more focusing on Penn State and Temple.
What do you remember about last year, kind of standing on the sidelines at the link? Because obviously that's before all of this happened to you. Like it's before all that. What do you remember about that game?
I just remember last year, it was my first game, and when I did go on the field, I was nervous as heck, like literally, like mind blown. I was like, wow, like, it's here. Like I'm actually playing college. College football, and you're at an NFL stadium for your first game and stuff. And Temple did a great job on defense. So the blitzes they were bringing and the pressure, and you just wasn't used to that. But I remember being on the sideline, just feeling like, like there's really much I could do, and I just felt like it's always that. What if I was them? Like, would I be able to do this? Would I be able to do that? But kind of not even focusing on it anymore. Thank God I have the opportunity to be able to play against them this year, at least more. And but just not really focusing on last year's game, just more focusing on this year and getting the scheme down and getting what they do on defense down.
Where do you think you've grown the most as a running back since then, kind of looking back from your first game to now?
I think I do a really better job of seeing the blitzes this year, or seeing a blitz before it even comes. Not waiting for the O-line to figure it out, and I help. Seeing by reading the defensive eyes, or reading the defensive alignments, or the safeties, or just the keys that they give off that we go over in practice. And Coach Huff and Coach Moorhead and all the other RBs do a great job of helping me see that. That's why I say if I had to say something I improved on, I'd say I really improved in that area. And that's something that I'm not satisfied with still. And I'm not satisfied with any part of my game. Still always want to improve and always want to become better.
Does running between the tackles fall into that category as well? Because you haven't had the big numbers in these first two games like maybe you had in a couple games last year, but you had a lot of tough physical inside runs. I don't think you had a touchdown of less than 3 yards other than the reception on Saturday.
Are you saying, like, do I feel like I grew in that area?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like matured in that area too, with taking what the defense gives you and not trying to make too much. I still do it sometimes. It's just who I am. It's like part of my nature, but just take what the defense gives you, and if it's two, stick your head in there and drive and get the two. But I'm not like really concerned on the yards I get. I know like I haven't been putting up like crazy stat numbers, but like I really don't care because we're still putting up 30-something points a game, and we're 1-1 right now. So that's I really don't care. To be honest, like sorry,
the guys behind you haven't gotten a lot of carries yet. What can you tell us about kind of how they're progressing, specifically Miles Sanders?
Just the way they're approaching it is amazing. Obviously, they're not satisfied that they're not getting the amount of reps that they want, or even they feel like they should, but it's not affecting how they're coming off to practice. They're coming to practice every single day, and the playbook every single day, and being locked in and filmed every single day. As your competitive nature, you want to play and you want to help the team, but they're doing a really good job of just when their time is called, I'm 100% sure they're going to be prepared and ready for it.
Nice, Saquon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.